Have you ever thought about what it really takes to survive completely alone after 80? I don't mean just getting by, or making it through the day. I mean waking up each morning feeling safe, strong, and confident, without someone constantly by your side. It's a tough question, isn't it? Because let's be honest, living alone at this age can feel overwhelming. You start thinking about all the little things that used to be simple: climbing the stairs, cooking a meal, keeping up with doctor's appointments. Add in the silence of an empty house, the bills, the worries about health, and suddenly, the weight of it all can feel heavy. But here's the truth. Surviving alone after 80 isn't just about enduring the challenges. It's about living with dignity. It's about holding on to your independence. And it's about creating a life that still feels full of joy, even when you're on your own. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. I'm going to walk you through 5 essentials that can make the difference between just surviving and actually thriving. Each one is practical, realistic, and something you can start working on right away. Now, here's the part I want you to really pay attention to. The last essential is the one that surprises most people. In fact, it sparks a lot of debate. Some folks say it's not necessary at all. Others believe it's the single most important thing you need to stay truly independent. By the time we get there, you'll have your own opinion, and I can't wait to see where you stand. But before we jump in, let me quickly say this. If you're new here, welcome to Senior Strong Living. This is where we share real solutions for healthy, independent living after 60, 70, and beyond. If that sounds like the kind of wisdom you need in your life, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss our weekly tips. Alright, let's get started, and discover what it really takes to survive and thrive completely alone after 80. Now, let's begin with the very first essential, and for many seniors, this one can be a real turning point: a safe and accessible home environment. You see, the truth is, the very place that once brought you comfort, the home you've lived in for decades, can slowly turn into a place full of hidden dangers. It doesn't happen overnight. It's gradual. At 50, those stairs didn't seem like a problem. At 60, you still managed. But once you're in your 70s or 80s, each step feels steeper, each rug seems to catch your foot just a little too easily, and suddenly what used to be harmless becomes risky. And here's the sobering reality. Falls are one of the biggest reasons seniors lose their independence. One slip in the bathroom, one stumble on a dark staircase, and life can change in an instant. A broken hip doesn't just mean a hospital visit. It can mean months of recovery, loss of mobility, and in some cases, never fully regaining that independence you cherish. But here's the good news. These risks are not destiny. With the right adjustments, your home can be transformed into a safe haven again. Let's break this down. Start with the basics. Grab bars in the bathroom. This is such a simple fix, yet so many people put it off because they don't want to admit they might need them. But think about it. The bathroom is full of slippery surfaces. One bar by the toilet, one near the shower, and suddenly, that space goes from being a danger zone to a place of stability and peace of mind. Next, non-slip mats. Forget the fancy rugs with curled edges. They're more trouble than they're worth. Replace them with mats that grip the floor and stay in place, especially in the kitchen and bathroom. Then, consider lighting. Poor lighting is like walking with your eyes half closed. Shadows hide obstacles, and nighttime trips to the bathroom can feel like navigating a maze. Installing brighter bulbs, night lights in the hallway, or even motion sensor lights that turn on as you walk can make a world of difference. And don't overlook accessibility. Ask yourself, are the items you use every single day easy to reach? Are your dishes stacked on the highest shelf, forcing you to stretch and risk losing your balance? Is your favorite chair too low, making it a struggle to stand up? Small changes, like moving essentials within arm's reach or swapping out furniture for pieces that are easier to get in and out of, can remove daily frustrations and prevent accidents before they happen. Now, here's where modern technology comes in. We live in a time where smart home devices can actually protect you. Think about motion sensor lights that follow your steps, voice assistants that let you call for help without moving an inch, or even smart plugs that cut off power to appliances if you forget to turn them off. These tools aren't luxuries anymore. They're lifelines. Let me share a story. There was an 82-year-old woman named Helen. She lived in the same two-story home she and her husband had built together. For years, she brushed off her children's concerns about the staircase. "I've walked these stairs my whole life," she'd say. But one evening, she tripped on a loose rug at the top of those stairs. She caught herself, just barely, but that scare shook her to her core. The very next week, Helen decided to take action. She moved her bedroom downstairs, had her son install brighter lighting in the hallway, and got rid of every loose rug in the house. At first, she felt a pang of sadness, like she was admitting defeat. But over time, she realized something important. Those changes didn't make her weaker. They gave her back her freedom. She no longer climbed those stairs in fear. She no longer worried about what might happen when she was alone. She slept better, moved more confidently, and felt safe in her home again. And that's the lesson here. Making safety adjustments is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom. It's saying, I value my independence enough to protect it. So let me ask you, what's the one part of your home that worries you the most at night? Is it the stairs? The bathroom? Or maybe something else entirely? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think, and you might even help someone else realize they're not alone in their concerns. Because at the end of the day, your home should support you, not endanger you. A safe and accessible space is the foundation of independence. And when you take control of your environment, you give yourself the freedom to focus on what truly matters, living your life your way with confidence and peace of mind. Now that your home is safer and easier to live in, let's talk about the second essential. And this one has everything to do with how you feel each day, reliable nutrition and meal planning. Here's the thing, as we age, food isn't just about filling your stomach anymore. It becomes fuel for your strength, your balance, even your memory. Yet, when you're living alone, eating well can easily slide down the list of priorities. Think about it. Cooking for one doesn't always feel exciting. Some people start skipping meals because it feels like too much trouble. Others rely on snacks or quick processed foods because they're convenient. And some simply tell themselves, it doesn't really matter what I eat. But the truth is, it does matter, and it matters a lot. When you don't eat properly, your body slowly loses its reserves. Muscles shrink, energy drops, and your immune system weakens. That means more falls, more illness, and a higher risk of losing your independence. And here's the tricky part. The decline doesn't happen overnight. It sneaks up, little by little, until one day you realize you're too tired to do the things you used to enjoy. But the good news? With a little planning, eating well can be simple, enjoyable, and one of the most powerful tools to keep your independence. Start with the basics. Make sure your kitchen is stocked with real, whole foods. Fresh fruits and vegetables, lean proteins like chicken, fish, or beans, and whole grains like oats, rice, or brown bread. These are the foods that give your body steady energy and protect your muscles and bones. And it doesn't have to be complicated. A warm bowl of oatmeal topped with berries in the morning. A simple grilled piece of chicken with roasted vegetables at lunch. A hearty soup with beans and greens for dinner. Meals like these aren't fancy, but they're nourishing, filling, and exactly what your body needs to keep going strong. Here's where meal planning comes in. Taking a couple of hours one day a week to prepare your food in advance can save you from reaching for unhealthy options later. For example, roasting a tray of vegetables that you can reheat, cooking a pot of soup that lasts several days, or baking a piece of fish you can portion into smaller meals. Suddenly, eating well isn't a burden, it's effortless. And if cooking feels overwhelming, there are solutions. Grocery delivery services can bring fresh food right to your door. Meal delivery programs for seniors can provide balanced meals without the stress of shopping or cooking. Even freezing your own home-cooked meals in portions can make every day easier. Let me share a story. Edward was 79 when he lost his wife. At first, he told himself it wasn't worth cooking for just one person. He'd grab a canned soup here, a frozen pie there. Days would go by when he'd hardly eat a proper meal. But soon, his energy plummeted. His doctor told him he was losing muscle, and warned him that without better nutrition, he could face serious health problems. That wake-up call pushed Edward to try something different. Every Sunday, he spent a few hours preparing simple meals: roasted chicken, steamed vegetables, fresh salads. He packaged them into containers, ready to go for the week. And you know what happened? Within weeks, his energy returned. He felt stronger, his mood improved, and he even began enjoying mealtimes again. Edward discovered something powerful. Caring for his nutrition was a way of caring for himself, and it reminded him that his life still mattered. So let me ask you, if you had to choose, would you rather cook your own meals, simple but fresh, or would you prefer to have healthy meals delivered to your door? Drop your answer in the comments. Your choice might inspire someone else who's struggling with the same question. Because here's the truth, good nutrition is more than just food. It's a daily act of self-respect. Every time you prepare a nourishing meal, you're telling yourself, I am worth the effort. And that message, repeated day after day, builds strength not just in your body, but in your spirit. Reliable nutrition and meal planning give you the energy to face each day with confidence. And when your body is fueled the right way, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. Now let's move to the third essential, and this one may be the most underestimated, a strong medical and health management system. Here's the reality. After 80, even the smallest health issue can snowball into something much bigger if it's ignored. A little dizziness, a skipped pill, a missed doctor's appointment. These might not sound like a big deal, but they can quickly turn into emergencies. And when you live alone, there isn't always someone nearby to notice the early warning signs. That's why building a reliable health system around yourself isn't optional. It's essential. Let's start with medications. Many older adults take several prescriptions daily, and honestly, it's easy to get them mixed up. Maybe you forget a dose. Maybe you double up by accident. Or maybe you run out and don't refill in time. The consequences can be serious. Higher blood pressure, sudden weakness, even hospitalization. The solution: organize, simplify, and automate. Pill organizers with compartments for morning, afternoon, and night can take the guesswork out of it. Setting reminders on your phone or a digital device can give you a nudge at the right time. Some seniors even keep a written chart to check off each dose, which is simple but very effective. These small steps create peace of mind because you know you're staying on track. Then there are doctor visits. Let's be honest, it's tempting to put them off, especially if you feel fine. But that's where the danger lies. Health issues like high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart disease can be silent at first. Regular checkups catch problems early, when they're still manageable. Think of them not as chores, but as preventive tools, like changing the oil in a car before the engine breaks down. And we can't ignore emergencies. Living alone means you need a backup plan. Medical alert devices may not look glamorous, but they save lives. A simple bracelet or pendant can connect you to help with the press of a button. And if you're thinking, I don't want to look old by wearing one, let me ask you this. Is your pride worth more than your safety? In those critical moments, that little device could be the difference between lying on the floor for hours and getting help within minutes. Let me tell you about Margaret, an 84-year-old widow. She felt strong for her age and often skipped her blood pressure medication, telling herself she was fine. Doctor visits? She delayed them too. But one morning, she fainted in her kitchen. No one was there. She spent hours on the floor until a neighbor knocked on her door. That incident shook her. Afterwards, she invested in a medical alert bracelet, created a medication schedule, and made sure she never missed another appointment. Those small changes didn't make her weaker. They gave her confidence that she could still live independently, without constant fear. So here's my question for you. Would you feel comfortable wearing a medical alert bracelet, or do you think it makes you look too old? Be honest. I know many of you have strong opinions about this, and I'd love to hear your perspective in the comments. Here's the truth. Managing your health wisely is not about giving up freedom. It's about protecting it. When your medications are under control, your doctor is keeping an eye on you, and you're prepared for emergencies, you're free to focus on the things you enjoy. Hobbies, friendships, and the simple joys of everyday life. A strong medical and health management system is like a safety net. It doesn't weigh you down. It catches you if you stumble, so you can keep walking forward with confidence. Now let's talk about the fourth essential, and I can tell you this. It's just as important as food, medicine, or even safety. It's something you can't buy in a store, but without it, life can feel painfully empty. I'm talking about emotional and social connections. Living alone after 80 doesn't just test your body. It tests your spirit. And one of the heaviest challenges you can face is loneliness. You see, loneliness isn't just a feeling. Research shows it can actually weaken your immune system, raise your risk of depression, and even speed up memory loss. In other words, being disconnected can harm your health just as much as poor nutrition or lack of exercise. Now here's the truth. Living alone does not mean you have to live disconnected. Human connection can take many forms. It might be a weekly phone call with your children. It might be coffee with a neighbor every Tuesday. It might be joining a local senior group, or even a book club, where you can share stories and laughter. What matters most isn't how often you're surrounded by people. It's that you have meaningful contact with others who remind you that you're seen, valued, and still part of the world around you. And don't underestimate the little things. A smile from someone at the grocery store, a short chat with a mail carrier, or even a video call with a grandchild can brighten your whole day. Joy often comes in small doses, but those small doses can carry incredible power. Now, technology has opened doors that earlier generations never had. With a simple smartphone or tablet, you can video chat with family across the country, join an online class, or connect with groups of people who share your interests. For some, this feels uncomfortable at first. The buttons, the screens, the updates. But once you push through that learning curve, you'll discover something beautiful. The chance to connect with people you may never have met otherwise. Let me share a story. William was 81 when his wife passed away. The silence in his home became unbearable. Days turned into weeks where he barely spoke to anyone. He watched television for hours, but the loneliness lingered. One day, his daughter convinced him to join a local book club. At first, he resisted. "That's not for me," he said. But eventually, he gave it a try. He started attending meetings twice a month. Soon, he found himself laughing with strangers who became friends. On top of that, a neighbor invited him for coffee once a week. Slowly, William felt alive again. His doctor even noticed the change. More energy, a better mood, and sharper memory. And it all started with a simple step: choosing connection over isolation. So let me ask you, do you think technology really connects seniors, or is face-to-face contact the only way that truly matters? I know people feel strongly about this, and I'd love to hear your take in the comments. Because here's the heart of it: social connections act like anchors. They keep you steady when life feels uncertain. They remind you that you're not invisible, and you're not alone. Even if you live by yourself, a strong network of emotional and social connections can lift your spirit, strengthen your resilience, and bring joy to your days. Investing in these relationships isn't just about filling time. It's about filling your heart. Because when you feel connected, you're not just surviving after 80, you're truly living. And now we've come to the fifth essential, one that often makes people uncomfortable, but it's impossible to ignore: financial stability and daily support tools. Here's the truth: without money managed properly, independence slips through your fingers. It doesn't matter how safe your home is, how good your meals are, or how strong your health system is. If you can't pay for the basics, everything becomes harder. Food, medicine, safe housing. All of these depend on some level of financial security. Now, financial stability doesn't mean you need to be wealthy. It means you understand what you have, where it's going, and how long it will last. At this stage of life, the goal isn't luxury. The goal is peace of mind. That peace comes from knowing you can meet your daily needs without the constant stress of running short. Start with the basics. Make a clear list of your income sources: pensions, retirement accounts, savings, maybe even a part-time income. Then write down your regular expenses: food, utilities, medical bills, and home safety needs. Once you see everything clearly on paper, you can build a simple budget that focuses on essentials. That clarity alone can lift a huge weight off your shoulders. Now, let's talk about daily support tools, systems that make managing your life easier and safer. For example, automatic bill payments prevent late fees and take away the stress of remembering dates. Grocery delivery services ensure you always have fresh food without worrying about transportation. Meal services can bring healthy, portion-controlled meals to your door. A house help, even just a few hours a week, can handle cleaning or lawn care so your energy is saved for what you truly enjoy. A simple technology, like emergency response devices or smart reminders, can reduce the mental load of daily tasks. These aren't luxuries. They're tools that protect your independence by removing small but overwhelming burdens. Let me share Linda's story. She was 83, living alone after her husband passed away. At first, she tried to manage everything herself: the bills, the shopping, the cleaning. But slowly, it wore her down. She skipped meals when she felt too tired to cook. She paid bills late because she forgot the dates. She stopped going out because she no longer drove. Bit by bit, her independence slipped away. Then one of her friends suggested some changes. Linda set up automatic bill payments so she never had to worry about due dates again. She arranged weekly grocery delivery, so her fridge was always stocked with fresh food. And she used a small part of her savings to hire someone to clean once a week. Suddenly, her world changed. The stress lifted. She felt lighter, safer, more in control. Instead of struggling to get through each day, she had the energy to enjoy gardening, phone calls with her grandchildren, and quiet afternoons with her favorite books. Now let me ask you something. Do you believe financial stability is more about saving money, or about learning how to manage what you already have? That's a question worth debating, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Because here's the bottom line. Financial stability and daily support tools create the foundation for everything else. They don't make you dependent. They protect your independence. When your money is in order and your systems are working for you, life stops being about constant worry. Instead, it becomes about choice. The choice to live each day your way. With the right planning, you can face tomorrow not with fear, but with confidence. And that confidence is the true wealth of living independently after 80. We've just walked through the 5 essentials: a safe home, reliable nutrition, a strong health system, meaningful social connections, and financial stability with the right support tools. Together, these are like the legs of a table. Remove one, and your independence wobbles. But here's something I want you to think about. Is there a 6th essential? Something deeper, beyond the physical and practical? Some people call it resilience. Others call it mindset. It's that inner strength, the belief that even when life gets hard, you still have the power to shape your days. Without it, all the tools in the world may not feel like enough. But with it, even small resources can go a long way. So here's my question for you. Do you believe resilience, your inner mindset, is just as important as these 5 essentials, or do you think the practical steps matter more? I know people see this differently, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. This discussion could really help others who are facing the same questions. Now, let's pull everything together. A safe and accessible home protects you from accidents. A reliable nutrition keeps your body strong and fueled. A solid medical system ensures you're cared for before problems spiral out of control. Emotional and social connections remind you that you're never truly alone. And financial stability with daily support tools gives you the freedom to live life on your terms. These aren't just tips. They're building blocks. They don't just help you survive after 80. They give you dignity, confidence, and joy. And the truth is, you don't need to do them all at once. Small, steady steps add up. One change at a time can transform your independence. So let me leave you with this. Living alone after 80 doesn't mean being powerless. It means you have the chance to design your days exactly how you want them. By making wise choices now, you're giving yourself the gift of safety, strength, and peace of mind for the years ahead. If this message spoke to you, here's what I'd love for you to do. Like this video if you found it helpful. Share it with someone who might need these reminders in their own life. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe and join us here at Senior Strong Living. This is the place where we bring you real solutions to stay healthy, independent, and strong at every age. And finally, I want to hear from you. Which of the 5 essentials do you think is the hardest to maintain when living alone after 80? Is it safety, nutrition, health, social life, or money? Share your answer in the comments. Your perspective could inspire and guide someone else who's struggling. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Remember, living well alone after 80 is not only possible, it's within your reach. Stay strong, stay independent, and I'll see you in the next video. So, let's bring everything we've talked about today into focus. If you want to survive, and more importantly, thrive, completely alone after 80, it starts with 5 powerful essentials. First, you need a safe and accessible home, because the place where you live should protect you, not put you at risk. Second, you need reliable nutrition and meal planning. Food that fuels your strength, not drains it. Third, you need a strong medical and health management system, because prevention and preparation give you freedom, not restriction. Fourth, you need emotional and social connections, those bonds that keep your spirit alive and remind you that you still matter. And finally, you need financial stability and daily support tools, the systems that make life smoother and give you peace of mind each day. When you put these together, they form the foundation for independence. They're not about weakness. They're about strength. Because here's the truth. Living alone after 80 doesn't mean weakness. It means you have the chance to design your days your way. Every small step you take toward safety, toward better health, toward stronger connections, every single step builds your strength. Independence isn't lost all at once. It's protected day by day, through the choices you make. Now, before you go, I want to ask a small favor. If you found value in what you heard today, please give this video a like. Share it with someone you care about, a parent, a friend, or even a neighbor who might need these reminders. And don't forget to subscribe to Senior Strong Living. Your support is what allows us to keep creating content that empowers seniors everywhere to live healthier, stronger, and more independent lives. And finally, I want to hear from you. Which of the 5 essentials do you think is the hardest to maintain when living alone after 80? Is it keeping your home safe, eating well every day, managing your health, staying socially connected, or keeping your finances in order? Share your answer in the comments. Your insights don't just help us, they help other seniors reading those comments who may be struggling with the very same challenges. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Remember, independence after 80 is not just possible, it's within your reach. Stay strong, stay confident, and I'll see you in the next video.